Okay, I'd just like to welcome everyone back to the Soul Light Initiative website. Today we'll be dealing with NASA's Project Bluebeam and the implications of such a project. As regards NASA, we need to do a little bit of history really before we move into the slides. I naively believed, as many other people did when I was young and I heard about the Second World War, that once we'd actually defeated Hitler and his plans to take over the world with the master race and so on and so forth, and that what I was told at school was that we'd won the war, happy days, everyone smoked a cigar and we went on our merry way. And the Nazi party in itself, although it was as powerful as it was absolutely destroyed and fractured beyond repair. Now, as history goes, you grow old and you start learning all sorts of facets of history that the school teacher didn't teach. And one of them is the fact that the Nazi party didn't go away. They literally stayed in very much in the background, and there's a lot of neo-Nazis that I know still exist in German politics at least. But I'm talking about the big boys. I'm talking about your Von Brahms, the guys who the Americans took across to there to work on the initial propulsion systems for future craft rocket systems. As NASA and America themselves, were born out of the space race and the absolute need of the technological race to get a man onto the moon or into space. And that leads into the faking of some of the moon stuff, and there's stuff about that now on the website if you want to check that out. But getting back to Bluebeam, so the Nazis had gone over to America, and they had decided that, well, this is a nice little place to set up a new camp, and they silently but surely infiltrated government, and they made sure that they had people at the top. And they started then reinvigorating Hitler's dream of the utopian society, of the master race, under the one world government, the one world currency, the one world religion. Now, how do you fundamentally destabilize a religion as grounded and as centered as Christianity, the Muslim faith, the Buddhist faith? You were attacking people's very paradigms, their belief systems. A lot of the people on the planet at the moment take refuge in the knowledge that there is some form of deity protecting them, and they get through their days with that belief and will defend it till their dying breath. So how can you, as an agency or as a government, destabilize that belief? Well, first of all, you use technology, and that is the birth cry of Project Bluebeam. The religious angle of the project is this. That image that you can see on your screen right now is a depiction of Jesus Christ hanging off the cross. This was imaged into the sky, and it was a test. It was a test for the powers that be to be shown what this technology was capable of doing. Now, as regards this as well, the end game is for this project to produce deities in the sky. So, for example, you would have in every area of the planet where you would have the strongest, say, for example, over the Bible Belt of America, you would have the image of Jesus Christ, because he is the most worshipped deity in that area of the planet. For example, you would have a different, Shiva maybe in India. You would have, the Muslim faith, Allah and Muhammad. You would have that deity appeared in them areas, and so on and so forth. So at that point, you would then start to question your own understanding of what's real and what isn't, because there's this deity, the second coming of Jesus predicted after 2,000 years. We're in 2011 as we speak. He's 11 years overdue, but all of a sudden there he is in the sky, and you even people who don't believe will start to question. So that's the aim. And the more insidious aim is to then meld all of these religions, all of these deities into a single entity. And we are then told that our religious texts have been in some way misinterpreted. So the Bible has been misinterpreted, the Quran has been misinterpreted, so on and so forth. We were told that the true religion is the one that is now being projected into our, visual spectrum, and in some cases, from what I'm reading about the project, it can actually place thoughts within people's heads. So you can have a two-way communication with this deity hanging in the sky, which Ben Rich hit on when he spoke to Bob Dean regarding we are 100 years ahead of establishment science in any given time. So what we think we know today, we've got behind the scenes 100 years on from that, operating quite happily in the background. So that would be the main aim of Project Bluebeam, would to be destabilize religion, to then enforce its own religion, which would have the desired effect, which is what they hope it would have, the desired effect of actually making us more pliable as a race to subjugation. Really, subjugation. We would then buy into through this new religion. They would then subjugate us to a very different type of understanding of what community is about, and that's the aim. So moving on from that, you've got the blue beam effect. It's not only deities that they can show; they can effectively show whatever they can program it to computer. So it could be a spaceship, it could be a structure, it could be a light show, it could be effectively anything they want it to be. Now, if you look at the recent spate of alien invasion movies, I don't think it's any coincidence at all that Steven Spielberg has his hands very, very deep in the mud regarding bringing to us alien invasion films. Super 8, you've got Fallen Skies on the telly, you've got the V series that's been resurged, you've got Cowboys and Aliens this year, you had Skyline last year. And there just seems to be this constant slew of invasion films somehow wanting to penetrate our psyche, because this is how it's done. The other thing is as well regarding that, I find personally that this influx of 3D technology into our lifestyles, everyone wants to sell you the 3D television these days. Now, frankly, I've seen the effect of the stuff in stores and showrooms, and I think it's okay, but I wouldn't spend £2,500 on it. So hey presto, all of the prices have dropped this year. It's now as affordable as a brand new decent telly was last year. And we have these games consoles now with 3D without glasses, and you start to wonder exactly what's going on here, because we're being bombarded with this technology. I came up to cinema one time and I was presented with leaflets from Panasonic representatives, and they were saying, oh, 3D, 3D, 3D. These guys were standing outside in the foyer of a cinema, passing this stuff out to people coming out of the cinema. It's the first time I can ever recall that a major manufacturer of technology such as Panasonic have felt the need to stand in my local cinema with leaflets advertising TVs. So there's been a massive push and a massive need for these multinational corporations to get this 3D technology into your living room. Again, is that another conspiracy theory? Is that something else to it? Who knows? But they just seem a little bit eager for my liking to get this stuff out there. How are they going to achieve what they're going to try and do? Well, they're going to use satellites. They're going to use orbital satellites, which are already up there, and they are going to generate via light shows, project into the atmosphere, and they are going to display whatever it is they want to display. Now, there is numerous theories regarding what would be displayed. Religion's the major one, because that would be destabilising and reinvigorating the religion in their thing. Others are light shows, nice pretty lights in the sky. But again, that wouldn't really, people would be very curious, and I'm sure it'd be great with the can of lager, but it won't achieve a world collapse of belief system or paradigm. It wouldn't happen. So we're going to forget that one. We're going to move on. What we may see is spaceships. You may see UFOs, massive ships. You may see entities being removed from the planet. You may see holy effigies. You may see holy symbolisms such as crosses in the sky. These are the type of things that they would like to be putting into your psyche, due to the fact that they're now telling you in every film and every TV show you're going to be invaded. So they're already trying to gear us up as a call to arms, as it were, for something. So that would be more than likely what the tune to that take. Again, spaceships hovering over the Earth. This is not what the Federation of Light have promised that will happen, as in the teachings or through what Alex Collier says on the website. There's a link to the Alex Collier transformation talk he did last year on the website. Now, I urge everybody to check these videos out, because these guys are far better at delivering this information than I am. So, go and see the true masters at it, really. These images of the UFOs are probably something they had in mind. And then we have the spiral in Norway. This is a mock-up of that spiral, which I was exposed to quite a bit before the next image, which is the actual event. Now, apparently Barack Obama was present at this, and it was the way of NASA showing off to him just what they could achieve with this technology. And what this technology did was place a vortex in the atmosphere and then open up an orifice in the atmosphere, like akin to a wormhole, or something you'd see on Stargate if you get back to the talks I did on Earth Changes. These things were real. This was happening. So this takes place after you see imagery of what they're planning. So you've got to ask yourself, well, who got it completely and utterly right? Because this did take place, and numerous people filmed this on video cameras in Norway. And again, it's up on the site if you'd like to check it out under wormholes. I think I put this one. So what's the eventual aim? Well, it's the aim of what they've always wanted to do. It's mind control. It's not just in America. It's mind control in absolutely everywhere. They want us completely and utterly under the cosh regarding new religion, new belief systems, new deity, new everything, because this reality we live in now, this what we consider our normal run-of-the-mill day, just isn't going to be sustainable soon. We are waking up to a massive scale. The amount of people I've spoke to, and it was only 5 months for me that I started sort of sniffing the bacon, as it were. We are now starting to wake up as a culture and a race. We're now starting to go, well, hang on a minute, well, yeah, that fella's maybe talks a lot of shit, but there's a couple of things there that, I might check them out. By all means do so. That is the entire aim of the Soul Light Initiative, is to bring to people small snippets of information within their own paradigms that they can go and research and understand themselves at their own pace. This is no doom and gloom. This is no end of the world stuff. This is just us asserting ourselves as what we want for our future. We want to put it out there. We want to imagine this, and we want to take it forward. We don't want to be subjected to tyranny now or any time. And the powers that be just send to do this to us every time that we stand up for ourselves, because they see us not more than protein going, which is cattle. They just think of us as feeders, users of their air. So, with that thought, thank you for your time, thank you for your attention. Please check out the stuff on the website. Please go forward, spread the word, tell people what you've heard. You'll probably get kicked out your house, but never mind. Keep going, and let's get the word out there. Until next time, take the very best of care.